everyone, this is Dan Bell, and welcome to checkout time for another Dirty Room. This is episode number 2. Well, we're going to talk about episode number 2.
Yes.
Unfortunately, tonight, Rick is not here with us. He was taken ill earlier today and spent most of the day in the emergency room. He is fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with him.
He's just tired and didn't feel like doing it.
He's exhausted. He's home. He's not coming over. So he will be on the next installment of Cutting Room Floor.
Yes.
I mean, Cutting Room Floor. Damn it. I knew I would do that.
Checkout
time. God willing. So we'll just...
You're stuck with us.
We'll just wait for that to happen. You know, you need to move over.
Over?
There. That was better.
All right.
It's my OCD.
We have to touch legs.
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit about this episode. I've never seen anything like this place before. We'll just start at the beginning. So, I go check in. Will and Rick are in the car.
Sitting in the car.
They watch a man cleaning. He just made the room up
cleaning.
Again. To explain what happened?
Okay. His version of cleaning is going into a room where people just had sex and then just making the bed. Not doing anything else.
Right.
Just putting everything back the way it should be.
Yeah, he didn't change the sheets. He didn't do anything. He just dolled the room up, threw 2 bars of soap, and that was it.
All he took in the room with him was a new trash bag.
Ugh,
that was
so
it.
Gross. And he wasn't using gloves, right?
No gloves. No, he didn't even have gloves on.
So disgusting.
That was insane.
Beyond gross. And just so you know, we're going to have some bonus footage at the end of this video. And also, we have a bunch of questions that we got from Facebook. If you want to follow me on Facebook, it's facebook.com/thisisdanbell. You can go over there and follow me on Facebook. But we have a bunch of questions we're going to answer on this episode from fans. And we're going to continue to talk about this horrific experience we had at the El Rich Motel. Uh-huh. Now, let me start with, I walked in the room. I was the first one to go in the room, which I go in and just shoot it. Quick shots of, kind of a panoramic view of the room so we can establish the room so you can see it before we get into it. The smell in this room was like...
terrible.
It smelled like someone had hotboxed a carton of Marlboros...
While jerking off.
I mean, that's literally what it smelled like. It was the most disgusting place I'd ever seen, and I hadn't even touched anything. We hadn't at that point we hadn't pulled any bedspread back, so
it's right off the bat we knew we were in for a doozy.
When we got in the bathroom and Rick started to poke around and he said, "There's a piece of shit on the toilet seat," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!" And it was all downhill from there. The needle, the semen. I mean, there was like gallons of semen everywhere. Blood. I also wanted to say this motel was a place where back in 2000 there was a killing spree in Baltimore, and the killer was named Joseph Palczynski, and he actually stayed at the El Rich with his girlfriend, or I don't know if it was his girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, but he was holding her hostage there. He kidnapped her. And
I would think it's his ex-girlfriend at that point.
Oh, she was having a good time.
Oh yeah, she wanted to be kidnapped.
No, but I just remember that case so much because the people involved were like so Baltimore. Like his attorney was on TV, Joseph Palczynski's attorney, and he was like on television doing a press conference, like a presser, and he was trying to talk to Palczynski through the television. So he was like, "Come home, Joe." I mean, that horrible Baltimore voice, the Baltimore accent.
Oh yeah.
"Come on, Joe. You want to come home, Joe? Come on, Joby. Come home, Joe. Everyone loves you, Joe. At this point, this guy had murdered like 5 people, and he's like, everyone loves you,
We
Joe.
love you.
Come home, Joby. Your mom loves you, Joe.
God.
Come home. I mean, he just kept saying it over and over again, and we would laugh. I mean, it's nothing to laugh about, but
Well, yeah.
the attorney was such a bumbling idiot. I think he was the attorney for the family. But, yeah, if you go read about it, you can see that it's just such a Baltimore... everybody involved with that thing was like, yeah, poor man, they killed Joby. Man, he said I get locked up. He laying on the couch. They killed Joby.
If there's one accent that could go away, the Baltimore one,
terrible.
please.
Anyway, that's my Baltimore accent.
I can't even do it. I'm from Baltimore and I can't do it.
The needle. There's a new rule from now. Let me explain the needle real quick. There's a new rule we have. No more opening up needles. I did not know Rick was going to open that needle up. So when he did, I was like, oh my God. I was in shock that we found the needle. Mm-hmm. I was even more in shock when people were like, well, they could have been diabetic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, right.
Uh-huh.
People with diabetes use their syringes until they bend from
And they
hitting
shoot
bone.
their blood on the ceiling.
On Reddit, a commenter, and by the way, I do not post my own videos to Reddit. You could ask Will, anybody. I don't do it. I don't even...
Dan doesn't use Reddit.
I don't use Reddit.
I use Reddit. Dan doesn't.
Will use it. I do not use Reddit. But when I found out that it was trending on Reddit, the video, I went over to look, and it was such a nice change of pace. Everybody was like, I love the show.
Yeah.
So it was like so strange to have
There was
people.
like one comment that was negative, and that's about it.
Right. So, but some guy on there said that he used to be a drug user, and he said basically the squirting thing is basically it's when your needle gets clogged.
Oh, so you got to get it out of there?
And what happens is that if you can't get it unclogged, you'll lose the shot of heroin.
Oh, really?
So basically they pull the needle open, and that's what causes it to squirt. This is horrifying.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, that's when your needle gets clogged up. You don't want, you bought the heroin.
Yeah.
Which,
can't waste it.
so that's basically what happened with that. But anyway, did I mention we're going to have bonus footage? I did.
Yeah. Wait to the end, guys.
We mentioned Joseph Palczynski. Mm-hmm. And the needle thing.
Not happening anymore.
No opening needles. A bunch of medical professionals contacted me and were incensed that Rick opened that needle. And I wasn't very happy either, because honestly, what do we have to see?
Yeah, we know what
the
it
needle
is.
part, I don't want to see that. I was terrified that Rick would get pricked with that needle. So I was very, very nervous, which is why I was like, oh my God, be careful. Like, it was just freaking me out. But from now on, we will not be opening up needles.
There's
I would
no
preferably don't even touch them. Just
Yeah.
leave them where they are.
There's a needle. All right, let's move on.
But Will, you were freaking out. See, Will and
Yeah.
I have a lot of the same neurosis.
Yeah, very anxious and...
Yeah, we both have... we're very neurotic people. And after we were done, Will, I could tell something was wrong.
Uh-huh.
Because Will was like acting kind of weird.
Freaking out a bit.
And we went to the grocery store, and you were like, oh, I'm just keep thinking I got pricked by a needle.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, it's like we're almost thinking the same
I wasn't even near the needle.
thing.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
I'm like, I
gosh.
didn't even touch it. And I'm thinking, oh God, what if it accidentally pricked me when I walked by it or something?
It jumped
It
out
moved.
and pricked you. Well, then Rick was also talking about scabies, and on my arm, it was from the gloves, but I didn't think about
that's
that.
right. You had those little...
I had these little dots, and I was
These
like, what
little
the
red
hell
dots.
is this?
you
What's
were like,
going
"That's
on?
scabies."
Yeah.
But it was just from the gloves, which we needed in this room.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We need to find
This is-
heavier duty gloves.
Yeah, we'll get some...
Definitely.
This room was shocking because every time we pulled back another layer, you just found
Something
more
else.
and more shit over and over again. And I don't know how anybody could come in here and have sex. I really don't get it. And
I mean,
what was with the handprints on the ceiling?
somebody's having a good time.
Yeah, I think somebody's standing up with their hands on the ceiling. Ugh.
But
Can you imagine you got your hands up on that nicotine.
and you're gonna have just a brown palm.
Oh,
God,
man.
But I was just starting to think, like, is there some sort of fetish where people like to go in and lay down on a bed that has fluids all over it?
There is.
I have it. I was aroused the whole shoot.
This was a wonderful experience. 10 stars. I'll give it a 10.
This video should be on Pornhub. And with that, questions.
What a nice segue into the questions. Okay, so a bunch of you sent, a lot of you sent questions tonight. And we're going to answer some of them for you. And this one's asked a lot, but Sebastian Bulldog asked, are you guys worried about legal action? And the answer is no, we're not. There is no legal action to take. Unless...
What would they do?
Unless we were, like, ejaculating on the beds ourselves.
Yeah.
And trying to make these places look worse than they actually are. That could definitely open us up to liability, but we're not doing that.
No. None of that is ours.
We have a responsibility. And this is how I take this very, very seriously. We have a responsibility to approach this in a journalistic way with journalistic integrity, because really you're playing with someone's reputation.
Yeah.
And I would never deliberately or unnecessarily harm someone's business. I don't care. There would never come I would feel terrible if I did that. I mean,
we're not going to do that just for our own gain.
Yeah, that would be a
insane.
terrible. I mean, you would be. I would
You would be
literally
a
somebody
despicable
who
person if you did that.
somebody who does something like that. I don't want anything to do with. So when we go in here, I mean, we're just reporting on what is there and what we see. Mm-hmm. It's like a TripAdvisor or a Yelp.
It's a video Yelp.
But it's like turned into a show.
Yeah.
So it's on the owners of these establishments if they care about their place or if they don't care about their place.
Yeah.
This place they don't care about.
They don't give a shit.
They didn't care about anything about this place. So obviously, I love the horror music that comes on when we see that big disgusting blood stain. Some people were like, "Well, that could be fruit punch."
It's not fruit punch.
It's not fruit punch. Trust me. It's something.
No
awful.
one's drinking fruit punch
it's either,
at the El Rich.
It almost. I mean, I'm sure it's like menstrual fluid.
I mean, probably.
But it could also be like a bleed out.
Oh, like somebody just shot up and fell asleep.
Bleeding
out of their arm or something?
Their arm was bleeding.
Yeah.
Which I think that could be, because that would be a lot of menstrual fluid. I mean, that would be a lot. So it's hard to say, but I'm going to invest in some luminol, which is basically a chemical that you can spray on blood and it'll make it glow. So you have a positive ID on the fluid, on the blood. So we're going to, not for the next episode, but for the episode after.
The fourth episode.
It'll be fourth,
yeah, because next
something like. Well, we'll see. So anyway, so yeah, we're going to.
We are not worried about any type of.
No. You gotta.
I mean, there's really nothing they can do.
I mean, you look at news shows that do similar kind of pieces,
Expose.
like Inside Edition did this. They just do it in a different way. Everyone's real serious. And,
They don't have fun like us.
They're like, look what we found.
Oh my gosh.
My God. And they never...
semen.
They find like a piece of chewing gum behind the bed. I mean, we're finding needles and bed bugs and everything else. They're like, ew, I found
There's gum.
There's a Q-tip underneath this dresser that I would have never picked up if I weren't filming it.
Here's a makeup cloth that they left on the sink.
I'm disgusted. It's funny. And when I was on a road trip a while back, I stayed in a hotel and I opened up a drawer and had a used tampon.
Oh my God.
In the drawer. And I went to tell the front desk because it was like, I was like, really like, why?
Yeah. What's the point?
And they thought I had planted it.
You planted your own used tampon.
Yeah. They really thought that I planted. They were like, you found this in here? And I'm like, yeah.
No, I took it out of my asshole.
Stupid. Yeah, I was menstruating out of my butt. Adam Van Kuren asks, only question I can come up with is how do we stay safe and clean in any motel or hotel we stay at? Do we have to bring our own sheets? And the answer to me is no, you don't have to bring your own sheets. These places where you stay should have clean sheets and clean comforters and clean everything. If you have to bring your own sheets and your own pillowcase, what's the point? You shouldn't stay there.
You should just check.
When you go into a room, the first thing that you should notice is a clean smell.
Yes.
It should smell clean and fresh. Go around and look at the surfaces. Have they been wiped? Check for dust. I always check for dust. Mm-hmm. If the top of something hasn't been wiped, it irritates me. Because it's so simple. When you're doing housekeeping, you have a whole row of rooms that are all the same. So you know instinctively as you go down what you need to do. And I don't understand why everything can't be tended to. But you should always, in a hotel or motel, pull the sheets back, strip the bed, lift the mattress up, get a flashlight, check the box springs, check inside, check everywhere, the headboard.
Check the corners of the mattress, definitely, for bed bugs.
You got to take the headboard off and look behind the headboard. Look for bugs, because you do not want to bring home bed bugs. All
you need is one or an egg. That's all you need.
You need a pregnant female who's just fed, and that's it. She'll lay eggs when she gets to your house, and it's done. A nightmare.
You're paying hundreds of dollars to get that
just
fixed.
Check around the room, pick things up, move them. If it really... it's sometimes you go to a place, you're like, I don't have to do it here. You just know. But then...
I think you still should check a little bit,
I mean, we check, but if I'm checking into like the Hilton, I'm not like, oh, I got to check the bed. They clean everything there.
They do, but I have heard of big hotels like that having bed bugs.
By the way, I'm not going to say who, but it's somebody associated with the El Rich or the people that own it. And this is unconfirmed. I don't know if this is true or not, because it's going to be some wacko. But I heard that they had to change the plumbing in the ice machine because people were using the ice machine as a toilet. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. It's unconfirmed, but it sounds like something that would happen there.
I wouldn't put it past this place.
Okay. Tracy Boland, aren't you worried about stirring up shit and breathing it in?
Kind of.
A little bit. I mean, when we were pulling the fibers of the underneath of that bed, I would say, we were a little concerned, but I don't think
that's about the only time, and I don't think Rick needs to do that anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to wear. I don't think. Respirator while we're doing this.
I mean, hopefully not. We might come across a place where we need one.
Do we try to get our money back afterwards? Mallory Kidd, we don't. I just don't. We're doing a review. The money is not important to me. What is important is that we get the video and we get the review out. So the money is, it's it sucks. I mean, but it's the only way we could do the show. And honestly, when we're done, I don't feel like fighting with somebody over, $100
Just
or
want to
whatever.
leave.
Of all the nastiness you've encountered, what tops your list of absolute grossness? That's probably a question that's better off later on in the series, I think.
Yeah, I mean, is it for the show or just any point in time?
Well, the grossest thing I ever saw was that tampon thing.
Yeah.
But this room took the cake as far as
The
anything
bed.
I've ever seen.
The bed was the grossest thing I've ever seen.
That woman screaming, "Oh, daddy, yes, daddy."
I love it.
Let me see.
Another good
Sean Foster, who is also a Baltimorean, asks, what does Rick's wife think of him becoming a YouTube sensation?
I don't know.
We'll ask Rick on the next show.
Yes.
I don't know.
Rick can answer that one.
Jamie Levy Jones asks, do you all bathe in bleach and burn your clothes afterwards? No.
Yeah, we bathe together, and then
we scrub each other with soap. It's a very erotic time.
going in these rooms just gets us going,
Have we been contacted by any of the motels about the video? No, not yet. Not saying that it wouldn't happen in the future. That's the only.
I feel like it's
disgusting.
going to. Oh yeah, it is.
It'll probably happen. The pilot, or I call it the pilot. I didn't know we were going to actually be making a show called Another Dirty Room, but the pilot where we had the incident in Greenville. The hotel contacted us, and we were able to rectify the situation, but they never asked me to take the video down.
No.
So the video is still up. It's on my second channel, Film It.
Did we talk about the voicemail on the last checkout time?
I can't remember, but the guy from Greenville called and left like this. It made no sense. I couldn't understand what he was saying. And then he's at the end of the message. He's like, "Thank you, love you." I was like, "Thank you, love you."
Thank you, love you.
I could. Insane.
I don't think he meant to say love you, but it's hilarious.
How long have Will and I been friends, and how did we meet? Leslie Magooter Herb asked this question. We met at a NAMBLA meeting.
I was walking down the street, and Dan pulled me into his van.
Will's uncle
Yes.
was appearing in some of my films that I did, my underground stuff that I did before all of this and everything else. And so that's how I met Will.
Yep.
And we've been friends for a while.
Yeah, it's like 10 years.
Yeah. What's the toughest part about filming these episodes so far?
Dealing
space.
with space, yeah. The smells.
Space. Just having to get shots with one camera. I kind of wish I had another camera person, but it's just not in the cards right now. And lighting can be a problem. We're going to get some new lights that are lighter and bigger and stronger, that have more of a throw, so we can light the room even more. But it's mostly space.
Yeah.
It's just the space is so confined, and
we always have, when we have our own set, like where we are when we're doing the episodes, at least me and Rick.
Okay. Let me see. James Van Vloten said, "Do the three of you get any strange looks when you are all seen walking together into a single bedroom? And in a place like this, No.
No. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
They're used to that.
Duran Lugo asked, did you ever find out what happened to the guy, the wallet from the first episode? And no,
Nope.
we never found out.
If anybody knows, if anybody could find... Well, you didn't see his name, so whatever. I am interested, though.
Lorinda Walker asked, would we ever meet with fans? And, I mean, I'm not going to do a fan meetup because I don't want to organize it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Like, I just don't... It's so awkward. Like, I just don't... I have a hard enough time, like, ordering coffee from a stranger. But, you know, if we're promoting something or something down the road,
Totally.
you know, some event or something we're going to have, then yeah, we'll do it. But I'm not... We're not, like, fan meetup. I just... It's not my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of like... It's just so much to organize, and you don't know where you're supposed to do it, and I'm afraid nobody's going to show up.
That's exactly what I think.
That's why I don't want to do it.
I don't want to put it on and nobody comes.
My ego can't handle it. Our friend Alicia Marie Ramos.
Oh, hey.
She asks, what do you think was dirtier, the floor, ceiling, chair, or the bed?
The bed.
Whew.
I say the bed.
The ceiling was pretty bad. The bathtub was the worst.
Yeah, but the bed
The floors were disgusting too.
Well, we don't know what's on the floors. There could be a ton of stuff on the floors.
There's this thing, it's like it measures the levels of biological germs, or not biological germs.
Biological germs.
You know, like it measures how much germs are like on surfaces and stuff. But it's like $1,500, and I want to get one so bad for the show because we could like swab things.
Yeah.
It would be like CSI kind of thing, like you could swab stuff. But we'll have to see if we can do that down the road. Maybe we'll find a sponsor who wants to get us
Send us some stuff.
Send us one of those things, and we'll, you know,
we'll show the logo.
Yeah. Chelsea Van Handel asked, did the massive amount of semen have a distinctive smell? And that, yes. It did. It was... Oh.
It smelled like what you would think it would smell like.
So bad. We'll do one more question. Oh, this is a good one. D. Schilling. This is a good question. We do a lock-in for 48 hours in the room for $5,000. Would I, you, or Rick do this?
2 days.
This is long enough in time where you'd have to have sleep.
Oh, no.
Or you could try to stay up and go crazy. Would we do it? I would not do it, no. No, that's a no. I'm not doing it. Anyway, you guys, the video's over.
No.
We're going to go to the bonus footage now. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys,
for watching. We love you.
Yes, I think I see a little flecking here. Evidence of former bed bug activity.
Let me see.
It's in the corners. You look at each corner and you see there's like a little peppery deposit.
Yeah.
Because what bed bugs can do is they can hide in the furniture. They can even hide under, if you have a screw slightly backed up out of the hole that it was screwed into, they can hide behind the head of the damn screw.
Maybe we should lift. You want to turn that over?
Look on the bottom of it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to.
Be careful.
Believe me.
Ew.
Oh, look at all that mold on the bottom. Black mold.
That's what it is.
There is black mold. Here, let me get a shot of it.
Okay, can you get it?
That's lovely. That's a health hazard right there.
Well, if it got airborne, luckily it's on the bottom underneath this thing, so.
I wouldn't want to sleep in the same room with that.
Just don't go down there and sniff it. Okay, so.
All right, just look in there. You see what I'm talking about?
I'm touching the damn bed.
It looks like some. Well, maybe it's.
That is a piece of an insect exoskeleton, but it's bigger than.
Bed bug?
No, it's smaller than the other things. I was talking about the scabies and lice and the body lice, head lice.
What's all these white little chip things in the corner there? Other corner, caddy corner, that one.
I wouldn't attribute to insects. I don't know.
Well, you forgot your needle.
Oh yeah. Need to shoot up later.
Oh my god. Look at that. Oh my god.
Nice rectangular area.
Every surface in here.
It hasn't seen cleaning since probably this was brand new.
Since it came in here.
Since it was put here.
Jeez Louise. This has been one of the most shocking rooms I've ever seen.
And so, really, we should charge them for some cleaning service.
Yeah.
Yes.
Half on.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Look what we found.
It's so offensive, though, that...
Yeah, how could you just not... It's right there. You found it as soon as you went in the bathroom.
Are they coming?
Rick's talking to him right now. He's nodding a lot.
What am I supposed to say? Like,
coming.
this is Dan Bell with another... I'm Dan Bell with another dirty room.
Yeah. Please, what are your thoughts on this? They're coming now.
Okay. Tell me when they're like...
Okay, they're about to come in like 3 seconds.
Okay.
So it's right in here.
Hi, how are you? There's a needle in the room.
Other stuff like that.
It was under the
It's all
sink.
right. I mean, I just wanted, like I said, I didn't want anybody to be possibly injured and try to even use it.
So I mean, do you guys actually change the sheets in between guests?
Yeah.
What? Okay, because the bed is covered with fluids.
We change the all time.
You change.
We change the all time.
I don't believe it.
Because there's semen all over these right now, and
Yeah.
it's still wet.
It's still wet. So why is that? Why is it like that?
It wasn't very nice. You didn't even lay down.
When you came, there is the needle.
Yeah, it was under the
It was
sink.
on the floor under the sink, and we picked it up and put it there for you. It's not my needle. It's up to you guys to make it safe. It's your establishment.
Okay.
Who has the room key?
Maybe you do.
Hey, take the room key. Come here. Where is it? Do you have the room key?
Well, moved it.
Oh, I got it.
All right.
Here.